everybody, John Paul here. Today's topic is, why do I yawn during breath work? Oh my God, I've seen so many people over the last decade yawn constantly during breath work. And then some of them will come up to me and be like, oh my God, I can't stop yawning during breath work. Why does this happen? And the short answer is, we're not really sure. We're not really sure. There's a lot of theories out there. I'm gonna go over some of the theories and maybe you'll like some of them, maybe you won't. But if you're here, you wanna know why you're yawning during breath work. You know, one of the theories was that it cools down the brain. And some of people have dismissed that. Some people believe in that it cools off the brain, thermoregulation. I don't know if that's true or not. Another theory is that it wakes up the brain, that we're sleepy, and that's why it often happens, a lot of yawning happens in the morning, right? More so. And then there's different things like equalizing pressure, right? So have you ever yawned when you've landed from a plane and then it equalizes the pressure in your ears? I certainly have. And then also, yawning is like an empathetic reflex, meaning, you know, you see somebody else yawn and then it causes you to yawn. I mean, we've all experienced that. Dogs can yawn from watching you yawn, which is wild. Other animals with vertebrae yawn. So it's this empathetic reflex that we have. But if you're laying there doing circular breath work with your eyes closed, it's not because of somebody else. It's something going on inside of you. I've heard it said from some of the, breathwork teachers over the years that it can be that yawning is you resisting going to a trauma, right? So we have certain traumas, things that have happened to us in our lives, traumas that get stuck in our nervous system, and that we're yawning because we're not yet ready to deal with that trauma. So it's kind of resisting going into the trauma in our nervous system, and we don't want to have that trauma come up and deal with it, like let it up, let it out. There's a lot of talk about trauma informed now, re-traumatizing people. I'm not a big believer in that. I think that the trauma is there and it comes up for us to deal with it. Right? It can come up during the breath work, the circular breath work. Breath work didn't put the trauma there. The trauma was there before. It's showing you that it's there and it needs to be dealt with. So if that happens to you, if you're doing breath work and you have a trauma come up, go seek some help from somebody. Don't just push it back down. That means let's go find a professional to help us deal with this trauma, okay? And breath work in conjunction with, working with a professional like a therapist or somebody like that is amazing. So I have a lot of experience in sending people to therapists or therapists sending people to me, and those two together go really well together. But we're talking about yawning today. We're not talking about therapists and trauma. So yawning, one of the tricks that I learned a long time ago from one of my teachers along the way was that you can breathe during the yawn. And I was like, what do you mean you can breathe during the yawn? So if I yawn, I can't breathe, right? But you actually can. You can force yourself to take a few breaths in and out during the yawn. So let's see if I can do it. Super weird. I'm sure it looks super weird, but you can actually breathe through the yawn. And I found when I do that technique, when I breathe through the yawn, I actually yawn a lot less. And so try that. It's weird, but it might help you a lot with yawning during breath work. And, be open to the possibility that there's all kinds of weird things that are going to happen to you during this circular breath work. People will ask me these questions all the time. Is it normal to have, a cramp? Sure. Is it normal for my eyelid to twitch? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's all kinds of weird physical stuff that happens to us during the breath work. The issues are in your tissues, and we want to clear it out of our body. So also, one of the things that might be happening is you might be going too hard or too fast, and you might need to slow it down and learn to relax the exhale a little bit more. So if you're not sure what I mean by that, come to my class and I talk about relaxing the exhale a lot more instead of pushing the exhale. And so I hope you enjoyed this video today. Like, subscribe, follow, comment. I want to know what you think. Watch some of my other videos, and hopefully I see you in a breathwork class one day soon.